Have you ever felt small in the face of something or someone overwhelming? Maybe it's your boss at work who talks over you in meetings and makes you second guess every decision. Maybe it's a partner who manipulates your emotions and controls how you move in the world. Or maybe it's that constant feeling of being dismissed, unheard, and underestimated. That feeling right there is what it's like to face your Goliath. And most of us have a Goliath in our lives at some point, a force that seems too strong, too loud, or too established to ever defeat. But here's a truth that's as old as time. What makes you feel small might actually be the very thing that gives you power. It's the heart of the David and Goliath story, and it's not just ancient legend. It's a roadmap for real life. See, David didn't beat Goliath by being stronger. He won because he showed up with what he already had: courage, belief, and a simple sling and stone. Let's unpack how that story applies to your everyday battles, especially when facing intimidation, control, or emotional pressure, using a 5-step structure that walks you through the internal psychology, the emotional packaging, the roadmap, and the turning points that can shift your life. That IT all begins with your internal psychology, the emotional truth behind your struggle. When you face a difficult person or situation, especially over time, it doesn't just feel frustrating. It chips away at your identity. You start questioning yourself. Am I overreacting? Maybe I should just keep quiet. Who am I to challenge this? That self-doubt is powerful, and it's what Goliaths feed on. But underneath all that fear, frustration, or fatigue, there's another voice. A quieter one that whispers, "You know this isn't right. You know you deserve better." That's your David moment. That's the internal pivot, the place where you stop seeing yourself as helpless and start recognizing that you have a choice, even if that choice is just how you respond. The psychology is simple. It's not about being unafraid. It's about moving anyway, despite the fear. Now let's look at how we package this mindset. Think of this as your personal story arc. We aren't just telling a tale of overcoming a struggle. We're telling a story of becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more courageous. This isn't about being the hero with a sword and shield. It's about being the one who dares to show up when no one expects them to. The packaging is powerful because it gives you a new lens. Instead of seeing your smallness as a weakness, you start to see it as an edge. Goliath never saw David as a threat. That's why he lost. Maybe the people who've made you feel small have never seen you coming. Maybe that's your advantage. That here's the outline to move through this shift. First, recognize the Goliath in your life. Second, discover your sling and stone. Third, take your stand, no matter how shaky it feels. Let's break those down one by one. First, identifying your Goliath. This isn't always easy because Goliaths come in disguise. They might wear a suit and give compliments before cutting you down. They might be someone you love, making the battle feel even heavier. Your Goliath is anything that makes you feel powerless, stuck, or voiceless. The important part is to name it. Don't water it down. Don't excuse it away. David didn't say, "Oh, he's just tall." He said, "That's a giant, and he's mocking everything I stand for." If it's draining your spirit or crushing your confidence, call it what it is. Second, understanding your sling and stone. Here's where things get personal. You don't need to fight like other people do. Maybe your power is in your calm. Maybe it's your clarity. Maybe it's your ability to tell the truth plainly, even when your voice shakes. Your sling is your self-awareness. Your stone is the action you take based on that awareness. David refused to wear the king's armor because it didn't fit him. He knew his strength came from what he already knew how to use. Don't try to be louder if that's not your style. Don't fake confidence. Instead, use what you have because what you have is enough. And then comes the third part, stepping up even when you're scared. This is the moment where it feels like everything is on the line. It's walking into your boss's office and calmly saying, "I'd like to be heard when I speak." It's telling a partner, "I need space to breathe." It's calling out behavior that makes you feel small, even if it's been happening for years. Taking a stand doesn't always mean confrontation. Sometimes it means walking away. Sometimes it means setting new rules. But whatever it looks like for you, the key is this: you act. You don't wait to feel ready. You don't wait for the fear to go away. You step forward like David, heart pounding, hands steady, eyes on the target. And finally, the outro, the truth that anchors it all. David didn't win because he had the best weapon. He won because he believed he could win. And belief is contagious. Once you believe that your voice matters, that your feelings are valid, that your smallness isn't a flaw but a force, everything begins to change. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't need a title, an audience, or a cheer squad. You just need to believe that one small act of courage can shift the whole balance of power. Because it can. Giants aren't as invincible as they look. They're used to people running away. They're not ready for someone like you to stand up and say, no more. So wherever you are, at work, at home, in a relationship, or within your own thoughts, remember this: there's a David in you. And yes, the fight might be scary. Yes, it might take time. But if you take even one step, one swing, one moment of truth, you're already on the path to victory. You don't have to be big to win, just brave.